there, yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my living room here in Vancouver, Canada. So welcome. Today is Thursday, June 24th, 2021, and this is video number 114. So it's been over a week since I updated you on my last podcast, and I thought, I miss you guys. I've just been so busy. Things have gotten way busier for me at work. I've picked up a couple of projects, and also through looking for a new house to move to and some great news about work, all that sort of thing has been culminating into a really fruitful week. But it's meant that I've been away from videoing and sharing all those good stories with you. So what I'm going to do in this podcast, it may be a slightly longer one, is share with you all of the things that I have been making and stitching and working up as a finished object, as well as I've got 2 works in progress. I can share those with you, and at the later part of the video, for those who want to, I guess, figure out what's been going on with me, I will share some stories as well. So I hope that you'll stick around for that, but I understand timing is of, I guess, essence in all of our lives. So I just want to say thank you for joining me for as much of the time that you can. With that, I just want to welcome anyone who is new to the channel, as well to let you know that I'm the host. My name's Gary, and I set this channel up to talk about all of my fiber journey and adventures. So that's in knitting, crocheting, and I can say now, again, hand dyeing of yarn in the kitchen. Nothing on a huge scale because I live in a very small, I think it's a 700-foot apartment here in Vancouver, and the kitchen is so tiny. It's a game of Tetris when I get in there and I start dyeing up. So I've got to move things around to get a space to put things down. So it's always interesting to see what kind of results I get because of space as well. So if that kind of thing interests you, stick around. And all my fiber friends returning, I want to just say welcome back, and I hope you've been enjoying your month of June here. The weather is really heating up here in Vancouver. Many of the parts of the world are celebrating their Pride Month, and I have enjoyed some of the events that have been happening for celebrating Pride. And even though Vancouver doesn't celebrate their Pride officially until August, that's when we have our parade, usually when that was the ongoings of the regular day or a regular year without COVID being around, we would have a parade and all that sort of stuff. So I have personally got some things planned for August as well to celebrate Pride. So I just want to wish everyone a happy Pride whenever you celebrate it. So yeah, let's get stuck into the podcast, shall we? First finished object you have been with me all the way through this project. So I just want to say thank you. This has been one of a labor of great experience and learning for me. So here it is here. It's my niece's sweater. It has been blocked, and as you can tell with that curl on the bottom, that's gone now. So that's awesome. And I think the last time I was up to sleeves when I showed you this, but both sleeves are done and everything has been assembled, and also the neck has been completed. So I had a really nice visit with my brother-in-law's family when they came over, and the niece, who is 5 years old, tried it on, and it's a little bit big for her, but this will be her 2022 sweater. And so it's probably, I'm gonna say she needs to grow about 2 or 3 more inches, and then it will fit her. But kids, they sprout. So I think the window of time when she can use this sweater can be 2022 and maybe in half into 2023. So yeah, it's so squishy and wonderfully soft. I absolutely love it. So what did I use as my pattern and my tools, and also the yarn? I'll talk to you about that as well. Now, all of the patterns that I mentioned, as well as YouTube channels given, it will be in the description box down below. So if you're interested to find out a link on where to find any of the information that I'm going to be talking about, it'll be in the description box below. So the pattern that I used was a paid for pattern, and it's can be found on Ravelry. It's called the Caramel Denim Fair Isle Sweater. Now it is a knit pattern, and it's by the designer Fiona Alice. And I had done a little bit of different things to get gauge, and also to make the fit of the sweater more of a styling that I believe my niece would like to wear. So it's quite a boxy sweater when you kind of look at it in the diagram of the pattern. I actually narrowed it. So my niece is 5. I did the width of the 4-year-old pattern, and I did the length of the 6-year-old pattern. So I kind of got more of a form-fitted structure of the garment than Fiona Alice intended. She wanted it to be a bit more boxy. And I know the character or the personality of my niece, and if anything is kind of dangling too much, like, you know, in her crafting or whatever, and her sleeve gets dipped into the paint, she's going to be really upset about that. So I try to avoid that by tapering sleeves, also by reducing the amount of fabric that's under the arms with the boxy style sweater. But everything else, like the pattern itself going across the side here, was done to pattern, and I really, really like it. And I believe my niece likes it as well. So just giving her about another 10 months before she will probably start wearing this jumper. We call it jumper, but you guys call it sweater. Absolutely love it. So the back of it also has the pattern that goes across the back. And I did a different ribbed neck. The neck in the pattern is slightly different without giving too much of the details away. It isn't a ribbed pattern or ribbed collar. And what else did I do that was different? Oh, Fiona wanted the striping to be of 4 or 5 colors, but I decided to just do the 2 colors going back and forth, because I wanted the focus to be more on the chest piece of the Fair Isle itself. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. Super, super soft. And what I had used for my knitting needles were the Chargu stainless steel 3mm for the body work. When I got to the color work, they suggested to go up a size, or she suggested to go up a size in needle, and I used a 3.75mm in just my Loops and Threads metal tipped circular needles. I actually did have a lot of help with this learn with a YouTuber, and her name is, I'm just going to look for the name here so I get it right, Marina. Marina is from a YouTube channel called 10 Rows a Day, and I will link that Fair Isle in the Flat color work tutorial down below. It teaches how to do the stitches in 2 passes to complete the row with the Fair Isle patterning, and it helps when you're reading charts how to go back and forth on a color chart pattern. So without which I probably would not have found a solution to tackle that pattern. So that was definitely a great help. The yarn that I used was for the yellow part here, speckly yellow. That was Gazelle Unicorn hand painted yarn in the colorway 1340 or 1340. And all of the color work here and through the little chest part here was in Loops and Threads Meandering Serpentine. They had various colorways that I had purchased in my stash. I used the colors that I had with that collection. Now this one here is the Gazelle Unicorn is a superwash merino, and the Loops and Threads Meandering Serpentine is 100% acrylic. So easy to wash and care for. I would say to the parents to lay flat and dry. They could machine wash this, but lay flat to dry. Just so that it doesn't lose its shape. Next up is a work in progress, which is also one item that I chose for my 2021 Make 9 card. And it is a crochet pattern, which I really am enjoying. It is my second style of work that I have done with a open lace pattern. The first one being the Rivulet Shawl. I used a fingering weight yarn for that one as well. And that was a tutorial by Fiber Spider. Hi Craig. And yeah, I'll link that down below too. But this one is a falling leaves style open lace pattern. And it's in a wrap. I'm going to make a wrap out of it. So the width of it is around, I'm going to say maybe 20 inches width. And I've done about 3.5 feet in length. Maybe if I come back, you can see it a bit better. And it's these leaves motifs that are in a chevron, so they kind of angular a little bit with the decreasing and increasing. Now, the pattern that I used was a free pattern. If you go to the website, you can learn how to do it through really detailed pictures and written out instructions. Or you could have it as, I believe, a pay-for pattern as a PDF, and you don't get to see any ads then. It's an adless PDF, which is nice if you don't want the distractions. I would say that after doing 2 of the leaf rows, I had retained the pattern to memory, and I didn't have to look at the website with the ads any longer. I could see what I had just done in the row below, and I was, able to know and understand what was my current row that I was on, what I had to do. So really nice design. I love it. And it is by the design organization or company group called MyPicot. And I will link that down below as well, so that you can find if you are interested in the pattern yourself. So what did I use as a tool and yarn? I used what was generously gifted to me by Stitch Naturally. They reached out to me about 6 weeks ago, over a month, talking to me about whether I'd like to try some of their new yarn that they imported from the Netherlands. And I said, I would love the chance to try some new yarn that is difficult to get in North America. But this is a brand that they sell over in Europe, in the Netherlands. It's called Durable. And this particular brand or collection is called the Color Cake. So Durable Color Cake. Absolutely love it. I'm not affiliated with Stitch Naturally. I don't get any kickbacks at all if you go and click on the link down below if you want to visit their website. I will tell you that they're offering us here at Urban Yarn a great discount code for the course of now up until, I believe, November 15th, 2021. If you are to use Urban Yarn 15% at checkout, you'll be able to get 15% off of their Durable collection. So I believe they have a few varieties of the Durable collection, so that they've got cakes and they have other small balls as well. So yeah, if you are interested in hunting out for a new cake to try, this is a cotton acrylic. That's where you might be able to find something that is in a colorway that you can't find anywhere else. So let me tell you about the yarn. It is 55% organic cotton and 45% anti-peeling acrylic. This is how it is plied together and twisted, so they're not loose strands. And I am going to be talking about Durable yarn in a separate video, probably mid-July, because I have a couple of other collections that I want to work through before making some kind of, I guess, concise and informative ideas about what my opinions are. So yeah, I really enjoy it. This is classified as a 1 fingering weight yarn, and they suggest here for 3mm crochet hook or a 2.5mm set of knitting needles. So yeah, I really appreciate the kind gesture that they had sent me that yarn to try out, and I am really enjoying it. The colorway of that one is called Pistache Pie. I don't know what a pistache pie is, but it does look delicious, and I think a lot of the naming conventions of the colorways in that cake, cotton cake collection are based on food. So just a pre-warning there that you might be very hungry when you are visiting their site and reading all those delicious colorway names. I ended up using a 3.75mm crochet hook because I don't have a 3mm crochet hook size. I just went with the smallest one that I had. So the next thing that I want to chat about is another work in progress. It is to a make along that I'm joining, and it is the Fiber Hustle guys, Chip and Aaron. Hi Chip and Aaron. They have started hosting June the 2nd, 2021, their Vertices, no, it's called HustlersUniteKAL, and it's all to do with making the Vertices Unite, which is a Stephen West shawl. And I am up to my first section. I'm almost completed. I probably have around 46 more rows, and then my first section is completed. There are 5 sections, I believe, in all. I should know this because I have looked at the pattern like 5 times, but I read my pattern sometimes like a book. I don't want to jump ahead to spoil the fun of what I need to do. So I think there's 5 sections. So this one uses the color A and color B, and what I've chosen for my color A and color B are these two that I'm mixing together. And this one here is from Knitpicks, and it comes like this when you purchase it. It's their Hawthorn fingering, and I believe it's a tonal. Yeah, it's a tonal, and it's called Slate Kettle Dye, sorry. So it's the colorway is Slate, and the collection is the Kettle Dye fingering weight. Love that color. And this one here, I'm gonna butcher the name because the ball band is in French, and I can't read French, but this one here is Berger de France, and the colorway is called Melon. This is also a fingering weight yarn. And what can I tell you about this one? I believe this one is a blend of acrylic and wool. And this one here is the Knitpicks one, is a 80% superwash merino and 20% polyamide. Really like the way that they're both working up. Just to show you that again. So if you want to join the make along that is being hosted by the guys down at Fiber Hustle, you can hashtag your make as well so that they can see that you are also joining in with the hashtag HustlersUniteKAL, and I will add all the details down below to what I know about the dates on when it starts and when it finishes, and I'll also connect you with Chip and Aaron's video where they talk about this make along. So that's that, and my color section 2 that I'm thinking of doing, I'm not gonna lock this in just yet because with color work it does need a little bit of testing and seeing how things work out, but I am thinking of using this purple colored yarn, which I don't know where the ball band is, but if it gets into the KAL, I'll be able to update you on what this yarn is. But it was a generous gift that was sent to me by Tracy, and thank you, Tracy, for this beautiful knit crate yarn. I will find out what the ball band is and add that in if it gets into the KAL, into the shawl. And this one here is my own hand-dyed yarn, which is similar in, well, kind of more bluish indigo purples and gray. with this more royal, this is more like a royal purple here. So yeah, those two together, see how they work up. And yeah, really excited about the next space. So I'm gonna push on through the first section because I'm kind of done with it. My next thing that I'm gonna be talking about, and that's Happy Mail. So I received wonderful cards from a few viewers and also a couple of boxes of goodies. So let's open up a card from our Emmy Phillips. And this is very fitting for the month of June here. I love that. Exactly who you are, ... And the inscription inside is exactly who we love. And I won't read her inscription, her personalized inscription in the card, but I love this pride card. Thank you, Emmy, so much. And inside is again one of those mighty leaf teas, which I had from Emmy once before. Absolutely love that tea. It's in the African nectar flavor. So thank you so much. And the next one that I have here is a box that I received from one of us here on YouTube, and it's Kit from All Things Crochet and Knit with Kit. Hi, Kit. So she sent me this beautiful box of yarn as well as some other goodies. I will start with the card that Kit has sent. A beautiful card in the box. And I've read the inscription, but I won't share that with everyone. But in a gist, she's saying to me that all this yarn, be able to use it before she would get to it. So it is the Knit Crate yarn, and this is one that I wanted so much when Knit Crate first came up with the collaboration, I guess, with the Brooklyn Boy Knits. And so I got two here of that beautiful hanked yarn. I love it. It's so super squishy and the color is awesome. So what we have here is a Knitology Worsted Colorways Empire, 100% superwash merino, and the yardage is 225, so 225 yards or 205 meters. It's 100 grams. They suggest to use a 5 to 6 millimeter set of knitting needles, and you can cold wash and gentle on gentle and tumble dry low. So yeah. So I have two colorways here. One is called Empire. That's this one here, the darker tones. And this one is called Royal Court. They pair well together. I'd be able to use them together. So thank you so much, Kit. I absolutely love them. Yes, I will definitely be using this very, very soon. The other two that are in here from Knit Crate are the Vidalana yarns from Knit Crate. These two here, really super soft as well. This one is chain, it looks like it's chain spun. Yeah, it's chain spun. Ooh, we got the sun coming in too for a little nice effect there. And what can I tell you about these yarns? So these are DK yarns, so 3 weight, and it's called Mistletoe, the colorway. It's 48 merino wool, 20% baby alpaca, and 32 organic cotton. The weight of it is 100 grams, which gives you 274 yards or 250 meters. The suggested knitting needles are 3.25 to 3.75 millimeters. Absolutely love it. Oh, it's so squishy. You know what I think would work up really nicely in this? How hubby, Chad, is my husband. He was thinking a nice cable cowl or a cable hat in this would be good, but I have enough to make the cowl, so I'll use the 2 hanks in that. Love that. Thank you so much. I have I believe this was from Hobby Lobby sale, maybe? No, it's Michael's. I've seen these in our Michael's too. It's a tote bag called I Can Totally Make That. Really nice, sturdy tote bag. It's canvas. And this is the other side of it here. Really, really nice. Like that so much. Oh, I didn't know that these two were in there too. But this is also from Knit Crate. Oh, this is super soft. So it looks like it has some sort of halo-y hair strands in there. And it is Knitology Glowing Worsted in the colorway Shoreline. I think I got some of this from Tracy as well, but in a different colorway. And it is 40% superwash merino, 30% silk, and 30% alpaca. It is worsted weights, a number 4, 100 grams, which gives you 150 yards or 137 meters. They're suggesting a 5 to 6 millimeter set of knitting needles. Absolutely lovely. Look at that color. It has a slight sheen to it as well. Really, really soft. And hubby's just got home. Hi, hubby.
Hi.
And the next thing that we were talking about when we were communicating, and she really wanted me to send me to have this yarn. I didn't realize that she was sending me this much yarn. I thought maybe she had 1 or 2 hanks that she didn't have need of, but it's the Knit Picks dyeing yarn. So it's bare yarn that that I can dye, and it is the wool of the Andes sport weight. So it's a number 2 weight yarn. 100% Peruvian highland wool. So it's rustic, it has a bit of tooth to it, but I don't mind that at all. So I thought maybe she would be sending me 1 small hank or 2, but she sent me a whole bag of them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hanks to dye up. And I just did a big dye up in the kitchen. I knew that I had these in my stash ready to go for dyeing, but I wanted to save these for another time, maybe try out some new colors. I had other hanks that I was dyeing up. So Kit, I will get to these. So thank you for sending them. I really, really was so surprised to get all of those in the box. Absolutely appreciate that completely. I don't know what to say. It's just like, I'm speechless. So thank you so much. The next thing that I have here arrived just today, and this was a box from our Doris, and thank you, Doris. This, I don't want to show the address, this box here, and when I opened it up, I was so surprised at all of the yarn that was in there. So again, a wonderful card here. Thank you, Doris. Look how cute that is. Ah, I did see this when I first opened it and read it. Where's the camera? There it is. It says love, a little wooden love heart with love written on it. That is so cute. So yeah, I think I can read this because it's not too sensitive. It just says, "Dear Gary, this ice yarn had your name written all over it. Enjoy. Big hugs, Doris." And I got a pack of ICEYarns and another pack of ICEYarns. So I got 8 of this wonderful yarn. So ICEYarns is yarn that is in Turkey, no affiliation. and I've bought from them before, but look at these colors. Wow. So this yarn here, it's quite fuzzy, so I wouldn't want to make a mistake with it because I think it would be quite difficult to rip back unless I paired it with something that could be a little bit more forgiving if I needed to pull back to a row below, or yeah. So absolutely stunning yarn though. It's their Angora Supreme color, and this is 70% Angora and 30% acrylic. It's 100 grams per ball, which gives me 550 meters. Doesn't give me yards. I don't know what that would be. Maybe 600 yards. And they are classifying this as a 2, which is the sport weight. I wrote to Doris and all of these people personal emails back to thank them for their generous gifts and well thought out gifts that they've included in each of their packages. And I said to Doris, I have ideas for this yarn, but I will probably pair it with something so that I don't have to worry about if I make a mistake that I can then rip it back. Because I've tried when using fuzzy yarns like Angora or mohair, that if I pair it with a slicker yarn like a regular plied yarn, when I pull back, it's easier to frog when using the fuzzier yarns. I have heard stories about how you can put it in the freezer, or if you're pulling at a certain angle that your frogging goes a lot better. But from my experience, all of those, well, I haven't put anything in the freezer, but I have tried all different angles of frogging, and it seems to always catch. Next up, there is just some life catch up. And what I have, if you're still here with me, is to tell you that I got some new glasses. So as you know, I went to the optometrist to get an eye exam about 2 months ago, and the lenses hadn't changed in my old glasses, but he prescribed me new ones because he was saying that my old ones, which were possibly maybe 8-9 years old, were scratched and marked up. He said you might want to invest in a new pair because the ones that you are wearing currently are not the best, because they're scratched. So we took the lenses, we took the prescription down to Costco, and I got myself 2 new pairs, this one here, and also another pair when I went back to pick them up, because it took a couple days for them to, I guess, insert the lenses into the frames. One of my pair was a curvature of the framework, and when I wore those ones, I felt like I had a headache after 2 hours of wearing them, and I felt nauseous. So called them up and I said, why is one pair great, like this one that I'm wearing, and the other pair makes me feel super dizzy, and it feels like I'm in a fishbowl? And she said, oh, maybe you should bring them back in, because the fact that the frame that I had, she could see on her inventory list for my purchase, was that they were the round frames, so they kind of curve. And she said, I think they need to just be set slightly different. So yeah, I'm going to go back to Costco. Those were the more expensive ones too. So she said if it can't be resolved, then she'll likely refund me, or we can choose another model of eyewear. But yeah, very interesting that I didn't know that could happen, because so far out of all of the glasses or the frames that I've chosen, I've never had that issue. So yeah, the next thing that I've got to catch you up on was what have I been doing for Pride and celebrating Pride over the course of June. Well, I was invited to the Fiber Hustle bingo, which they had, which was the Pride celebration bingo, and it was last Saturday, and I had a really fun time. Nothing to report on winnings there, but the winning thing for me was just to catch up with everyone and having a lot of fun. I absolutely adore Chip and Erin, who are the hosts at Fiber Hustle, and they always make everyone feel welcome and included, and they have the best music. It's kind of slightly old school and what I really like, the 80s and moving forward into the 90s, but more of the dance pop kind of soundtracks were being played. So I really, really enjoyed that. What else have I been up to? Oh, yeah. I guess I did a dye-up job, as I mentioned in the head of the video, and that took me about 3 days from kitchen to hank form, and it was intense 8 hours in the kitchen to try and get it out of the way and done before hubby got home at around 5 o'clock in the evening. So I had to start quite early, took no breaks, went through 8 hours, and I did my 12 to 16, I think it was 12 to 16 hanks, and everything had to be washed out at the end: walls, floors, countertops, handles, even the stove had to be like wiped down, everything. So yeah, it's not the best setup, but I love doing it so much that I'm willing to do the hour-long marathon cleanup at the end. So yeah, I think that catches you up on everything as the sun is blowing out my shirt. And I'm kind of slowly moving over and over more and more like a vampire in the shadows. But I want to just wish everyone a safe week and have happy week. I'll probably catch you up in the next video in a couple of days with the wonderful yarn that I dyed up. I'm just super excited about it. And before this sun blows out the whole of this backdrop that you're seeing right now. Okay, I will catch you up in the next episode. Bye for now.